Hold on. I still feel like CP3 should have stayed in San Antonio another year. I agree with that. All right. Thoughts on the Detroit versus Charlotte fight. Now, for y'all, I got the video. So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to get out the way. Let me move this, move a couple of things out the way so y'all can see this. And I'm going to talk over it as we look at the fight. But hold on, let me move a couple of things out the way so y'all can see the whole fight. Here we go. All right, let's play the fight right quick. Here we go. All right, so here we go. They playing ball, as y'all see. Jalen Duran gets the ball, goes the bat down. Debate, he fouls him kind of hard. He don't like it. They go face-to-face, and he mush him. And everything goes crazy because no man likes to get mushed in the face. You a grown man, you get mushed in the face, you might as well get spit on. You know what I'm saying? And Diabate was about that smoke. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all going to see in a minute what's going to really get crazy because Miles Bridges is in there, and we know he liked to fight. He beat women. This one word. So they over there trying to fight again. All of a sudden, you're going to see Beef Stew run out. Up there at the top, y'all see that. Beef Stew. Beef Stew ran out with ice on his legs, dog. Ice on his legs up there. 7-game suspension for Beef Stew. I think 2 games for everybody else. Beef Stew ran off the bench. You know what I'm saying? That boy was so hyped. So hyped. What y'all think about this, man? Y'all let me know in the chat. I'm laughing at Hagen's talking about that fight was more entertaining than Shakira Stevenson and Tio Lopez. Yep. He ain't lying. So I'm tripping, man. Now, normally, what is hilarious to me, normally in the NBA is the hold me back war. This is the first fight this year to me where folks is really about that life. Beef Stew ran off the bench, ice bags and everything, as you see on the screen, was with that smoke. And I tell you what, dog, Miles Bridges, he a fighter because he felt that fight coming. But I'm telling you, if Beef Stew would have connected with that lick, it would have been night-night, one word. You feel me? It would have been night-night because he had a running start, bags on his legs and everything. Running start, and he's ready to put that boy to sleep. I was entertained by that fight. I'm going to be honest, man. Like Rob just said, it's old school basketball. It was a breath of fresh air for somebody who watched basketball in the 90s. In my high school days and watching basketball when people would fight and everybody wouldn't get suspended. The last big fight where everybody got suspended was the Malice in the Palace. And I think that was more so about them fighting the fans. But the suspensions wasn't that bad. The biggest suspension was 7 games for Beef Stew. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. Because a lot of them punches didn't really connect. But they was really throwing shots. They was really swinging. And I think if the people wouldn't have been there, then it would have been the fight. Now, who I'm really disappointed with, and Rob them, y'all ain't got to protect him no more because he ain't on y'all team. That 3-point shooter, the white dude, I can't remember, Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson walking away like, man, I don't want nothing to do with this. Bro, your team out there fighting, at least act like you with the smoke. Fake like you with the smoke. We know you really ain't about the smoke. We know you really ain't with the smoke. But at least fake it, dog. You know what I'm saying? My man, if you saw the video, they show him in the video walking away like, I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? All right, D says, this is so disrespectful. These guys make too much money to be conducting themselves as such. I agree and I don't agree, D. I say, yes, they should be able to make too much money. But, man, one thing, as a man, I tell you this, sis. Our pride is a beast. And I tell you, if a man mush me in my face, it's on. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? No man wants to be mushed in their face. And I think that was the problem. When that man got mushed in the face, it was on and popping. It was on and popping. Yeah, Rob said, yeah, he turned and walked away talking about Duncan Robinson. Then Hagen said, look at Duncan haircut. He ain't finna do nothing. Nah, man. He ain't with the smoke. But you at least fake it, dog. You know what I'm saying? At least just push somebody, shove somebody, try to hold somebody back. That dude wasn't doing nothing. He just walked away like, my name Bennett, I ain't in it. He ain't want nothing to do with none of that smoke. None at all. And that's crazy, bro. That's really, really crazy. But as D was saying, turn the other cheek. D, I love you, sis, but once I get mushed in the face, no. I am a believer. I love God. I pray all the time. I repent every day. You mush me in my face, dog. I'm going to get biblical and flip them tables like Jesus did. I ain't finna get mushed in the face. That to me, as a man, you palm my face and mush me like a little kid. Oh, nah, man. That's equal to spitting on me. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Should cooler heads prevail? I agree, D. Cooler heads should prevail. But they got it. That's what I say. They got the money. They'll be all right. It ain't gonna hurt them. They got the money. So they ain't gonna be worried about it. They ain't gonna be worried about that little change they gonna lose. They ain't gonna be worried about it at all. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be worried about it at all. I just think it was a good fight though. So far, it was another fight that night as well in Minnesota, but I ain't put that up. You know, when as entertaining as the Detroit-Charlotte fight. But those are two very good teams, and what I would love to see after that fight, because Charlotte has been so good, they mess around, they getting close to the 10 seed, I think, a little bit above it. I would love for them two to match up in the first round. That would be an entertaining series, because Charlotte ain't going out like no punk. They already stood up and fight. You know, stood up ready to fight and all that, man. I think that would be a great first round series. Hagen say, mush, open hand smack, spit on me, I'm losing a couple games salary. On God. On God. Yep. I'm just saying, on God, it's going to happen. And I'm not a violent man. I don't like to fight. Every time I had to fight, I hated it. It was a terrible feeling. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, because if you don't, they'll do it to you again. It's just like dealing with bullies. You know what I'm saying? It's just like dealing with bullies. But nah, I agree to a degree, D. You know, they should have been able to hold themselves and keep themselves in check, man. But once that mush happened, like I said, that was it. It was going down for real. Flow rider style. It was going down for real. But if Beef Stew, as I said earlier, running out there with the ice on his legs would have connected on that punch from against Miles Bridges, that would have been ugly. And it wouldn't have been 7 games. I think it was only 7 games for the biggest or the largest suspension, only because nobody got hurt. Somebody would have been bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Somebody would have got knocked out, knocked the bleep out like Friday. If that would have happened, it would have been very different. But since no one got knocked out, no one got hurt, there was no punches really connecting. There was really grazes. Folks were throwing punches, but nobody was really connecting. Since that happened, that's why the punishment was light.